It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Emma's life took a turn she never expected. She had just left work, tired and lost in thought, the gray clouds above reflecting the weight she felt in her chest. As she hurried down the wet sidewalk, her eyes caught an old woman struggling with a heavy grocery bag. The woman's frail hands trembled, and she seemed almost invisible to the passing crowd. But something in Emma's heart told her to stop. She ran over, offering her umbrella and a hand. "Here, let me help you," Emma said softly. The woman looked up, her eyes a mix of surprise and relief. That simple moment, so ordinary yet so profound, was about to change Emma's life forever. Little did she know, the act of kindness she was about to perform would reveal a truth that left her completely frozen, unable to speak for a long, shocking moment. Before we dive into Emma's story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Kindness Story Hub. Hit the like button if this story moves you, and share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you about how small acts of kindness have impacted your life. Emma had always considered herself a kind person. She believed in holding doors, smiling at strangers, and occasionally volunteering at the local animal shelter. But like many of us, life had a way of keeping her busy and distracted. That rainy Tuesday, however, would remind her how powerful a single act of kindness could be. The old woman, whose name was Mrs. Thompson, struggled with her groceries, her back bent with age and exhaustion. Emma didn't hesitate. She took the bags from her, held the umbrella over them both, and guided her safely to the bus stop. They walked in silence for a few steps, the rain drumming softly around them. Emma felt a warmth inside, a sense of purpose that had been missing in her daily routine. "Thank you, dear," Mrs. Thompson said finally, her voice quivering. "You don't know how much this means to me." Emma smiled and shook her head. "It's nothing. I'm happy to help." But Mrs. Thompson looked at her with an intensity that made Emma pause. "You remind me of someone," Mrs. Thompson said slowly. Her eyes seemed to look right through Emma. "Someone very important to me." Emma tilted her head, curiosity piqued. "Really?" she asked. "Who?" Mrs. Thompson hesitated, then, with a soft sigh, spoke words that stopped Emma in her tracks. "Your mother. She helped me once, many years ago. I never forgot it. And now, you've done the same." Emma's heart skipped a beat. Her mother had passed away when Emma was very young. She had always known her as a kind and gentle soul, but she had never imagined meeting someone who had known her mother personally, especially not in this way. She felt a mix of awe, sorrow, and something she couldn't quite name. Mrs. Thompson invited Emma to sit at the bus stop with her. As they waited, she began to share her story. "I was struggling back then, much like I am now," she said, her voice soft but steady. "Your mother found me on a day much like this one. She helped me without asking anything in return, without even needing to know my name. She just helped. And it changed everything for me. I never forgot that kindness." Emma listened, completely absorbed. She had heard stories of people helping strangers, but hearing about her own mother's impact made the idea feel deeply personal. She realized that kindness was not just an abstract concept, it was a living, breathing force that could ripple through time, touching lives in ways she could never predict. As the bus arrived, Mrs. Thompson turned to Emma. "I didn't expect to see your mother today, of course. But in helping me, you've carried her spirit forward. You've reminded me that there are still good people in this world, and that hope never dies." Emma's eyes filled with tears. She had set out to do a small, simple thing to help someone carry groceries, and now she felt as though she had been entrusted with something sacred, the continuation of her mother's legacy. The bus ride back to the city felt surreal. Emma couldn't stop thinking about Mrs. Thompson's story, about the invisible threads that connect people across time and space. She realized that kindness was more than just a polite gesture, it was a bridge between lives, a quiet force that could heal, comfort, and even inspire. Over the next few days, Emma kept thinking about that encounter. She found herself looking for small ways to help others, letting someone merge into traffic, bringing coffee to a coworker who seemed down, leaving a generous tip for the barista who always greeted her with a smile. Each act felt small at first, almost insignificant, but she noticed how they changed her perspective. Her days felt brighter, more purposeful, more connected. Then, one evening, she received a letter in the mail. It was from Mrs. Thompson. Inside was a simple note: "Dear Emma, thank you again for your kindness. You don't know how much that small moment lifted my spirits. Your mother would be proud. Keep spreading goodness, it is the most beautiful legacy we can leave behind." Emma held the letter close, tears streaming down her face. She realized that kindness was like a ripple in a pond. One small action could spread far beyond what we see, touching hearts we might never meet. And sometimes, it could bring people together in ways that seemed almost magical, almost impossible. The truth Emma discovered that day, the truth that left her frozen in shock at the bus stop, was that even the simplest gestures have the power to carry love, hope, and memory forward. Her mother's kindness had lived on in Mrs. Thompson's heart for decades, and now Emma was part of that legacy. She felt a responsibility, yes, but also an incredible sense of joy. To help others, she realized, was to participate in something eternal. Emma's story didn't stop at that bus stop. Inspired by that encounter, she started volunteering more intentionally, dedicating her weekends to helping the elderly in her neighborhood. She found joy in the small smiles, the grateful nods, and the quiet words of thanks that seemed to echo the very essence of what her mother had once done. Each person she helped became part of a chain of kindness, a web of human connection that spanned generations. One afternoon, while delivering groceries to another elderly neighbor, Emma felt a familiar tremor of recognition. The woman looked up at her with a smile that mirrored Mrs. Thompson's. "You've got the same heart," she said softly. Emma smiled, her chest swelling with warmth. "I hope so," she whispered. And in that moment, she knew that kindness wasn't just about doing good, it was about being good, embodying compassion, and creating a ripple that could outlast us all. As weeks turned into months, Emma began sharing her experiences online, in small blog posts and videos, hoping to inspire others. She wanted people to understand that kindness doesn't require grand gestures, huge donations, or heroic feats. Sometimes, it's as simple as holding an umbrella, listening to a story, or carrying someone's groceries when they struggle. And yet, these small acts could carry tremendous weight, changing lives in ways we might never fully understand. One rainy afternoon, much like the day it all began, Emma found herself walking down the same street where she had first met Mrs. Thompson. The memory came rushing back, the tremor of realization, the shock of learning her mother's kindness had lived on in someone else's life. Emma felt a smile spread across her face. She realized that she had been frozen not out of fear, but out of awe. Awestruck by the invisible power of human kindness, she stopped to help another passerby struggling with groceries. As she handed the bags over, she noticed the same spark in their eyes, the spark of hope, gratitude, and human connection. Emma's heart swelled. The truth she had learned years ago stayed with her: every act of kindness matters. Every gesture, no matter how small, has the power to touch someone deeply, to leave a mark that can last a lifetime. Emma's journey reminded her, and now reminds us, that kindness is contagious. It doesn't need recognition or reward, it only needs the courage to act, the willingness to care, and the belief that we can make a difference. Even a small act, done sincerely, can resonate across years, across lives, carrying love, hope, and humanity forward. In the end, Emma never forgot Mrs. Thompson, and she never forgot the truth that left her frozen that rainy afternoon. It was the truth that kindness is more than a simple act, it's a legacy. And it's one that each of us has the power to create. So, the next time you see someone struggling, remember Emma's story. Offer a hand, a smile, or a few moments of your time. You may never know the full impact of your actions. You may never see how far your kindness travels. But trust that it does. And perhaps, one day, someone will look at you and say, "You remind me of someone I'll never forget." Because kindness is a gift we give that never truly ends. It flows, it multiplies, and it changes the world one heart at a time.